to entertain you. We'll sing your song.
Hey there. Are you obsessed with things that happened before your time? Well, if you are, join me, the host of Before My Time, Kelsey Laurie, to discuss the wonders of the yesteryears that we weren't around to enjoy ourselves. You can find us on all podcast platforms.
Dixieland's a playing, soon you'll be swaying, so come on, sing along.
We're making an ad.
Napping ad.
This is where I think if we're doing it right, Alec Baldwin comes in. He says a couple things. He listens to the podcast every week. Yep. Has he been canceled? Wait, is Alec Baldwin the one who killed somebody? I hear that Gary Sinise is free.
Oh, okay, great.
He hasn't worked since 2020.
So, what would be the script that we would have Gary Sinise say for the Napping Through Happy Hour podcast?
Listen to this damn show. Damn it.
The Napping Through Happy Hour podcast, brought to you by Geekscape.
Real life, real drama, real time.
I'm Gary Sinise.
That's the ad. That's the ad. That's the ad.
We're back with another episode of Horror Movie Night, and due to the fact that there is a new Predator movie out,
there is.
There was two Predator movies this year. One was an animated anthology film that was better than it had any right being, and the other one is a continuation of the Prey franchise.
Okay.
But I thought, hey, we got an anniversary for a Predator movie, and kind of one of the only two Predator movies I would ever consider us talking about on this show. Predator 2 from 1990.
How many... Wait, hold on. Before you get into it, for the uninitiated, truly, I don't know how many Predator movies there are. I don't know what the two just this year screwed me up even more.
Well,
so
because
what's the lineup?
Predator is arguably more popular right now than I think ever before. So there was
crazy.
1987 was the original Predator.
Right, I don't remember that movie, but it was on at a sushi bar I went to once, which was very weird. That's how I watched. It's the only way I watched any Predator before.
Then there's this one in 1990. Then I believe there's like a solid 14-year gap until 2004's Alien vs. Predator and the Alien vs. Predator Requiem movies. Then there's 2010's Predators, which is really good. Too good for our show in 2010. And then there is the what I think is unfairly hated movie The Predator, which was like Fred Decker's first script in like 25 years or something.
Which one has Adrian Brody?
That's Predators.
That's when you do or don't like Predators.
Oh, I like Predators. I just don't think we would ever do it on the show because it's that
too good. Predators is good.
Predators, the concept is like basically battle royale with Predator. Like it's like, hey, we know that this island is inhabited by predators, and we're just taking a bunch of like the scum of the earth, the like murderers or whatever, and we're dropping them on that island to see if they can survive the predators type situation.
Okay.
Like,
fair.
It's a pretty cool concept. The Predator is just like, what if the Predator was Michael Myers? And it's just like the Predator going house to house killing people while like some Marines are trying to like get the situation under control. Everybody hates that movie. I think that movie's a lot of fun, but it's not 10 years old yet. So the time will come.
Well, I know what we're doing in a couple years.
Yeah, the time will come for the Predator. So let me ask you guys a quick question. I can do one of two things. I can do the plot summary and then tell you some facts about the production, or I can do the facts about production to give us context before I do.
Yeah, do the context first, I think.
Before you
Oh,
do
yeah.
that,
Hey,
I'm
whoa.
gonna because you're gonna lay down some information. I'll drink to that. I have Heady Topper from The Alchemist because there's a lot of head trauma and topping of heads, topping of bodies in this one. So that's where I'm going with. What do you got?
I went with Off Color Brewing Apex Predator because that's like the most, but it's not the Predator. It's
No.
old man cop who's like sick of this shit, and I swear a lot.
Yep.
So
very nice.
So
Cheers.
a few things that I got here, right? The script. We're gonna understand a lot here. So starting with this first fact, the script was written in 3 weeks.
Okay.
Oh, holy shit! So shocking.
Yeah, boy does it show. Joel Silver hired director Stephen Hopkins because he was impressed with what Stephen Hopkins had been doing with Nightmare on Elm Street 5: The Dream Child. Hopkins
Was that during the
can you imagine
making of
anybody?
Dream Child?
Yeah,
or
that was during
that...
the making of. The movie had not
yes.
come out, but he was watching how he worked and was like, oh,
Yeah.
this guy knows his way around a
There's
camera.
something to be said. There's something to be said about that. When you're on, okay, all right.
Well, that movie was all.
I was gonna give him,
haven't we
I was
had
gonna
that
give him shit.
conversation about
The
like
editing ruined
that
movie.
fucking movie? Yeah.
Hopkins was given just 4 weeks to shoot the film and an additional 4 weeks to edit the film while
shit, can you imagine
overseeing
making this
all of the special effects work.
2 months.
This meant that he had to shoot on one stage while the crew was dressing the next stage so they could just shoot continuously.
That's crazy.
Yo,
for the
that's
lead,
not a lot of time for something that this feels big.
it feels really big for how
It does,
tight
yeah.
everything is.
Yeah.
For the lead role of the LAPD police officer Harrigan, Hopkins originally envisioned Patrick Swayze playing the role and teaming up with Arnold Schwarzenegger, who played Dutch in the first film. When Arnold Schwarzenegger declined to return for the sequel due to a dispute over his salary, his character was rewritten to be the character played by Gary Busey. So, like, Gary Busey's character in this movie was supposed to be Arnold Schwarzenegger's character from the first movie.
That's wild.
strange. Was Gary Busey in the first movie?
No.
Was he a...
No.
Okay,
No.
got it.
Hopkins also took a meeting with Steven Seagal about the lead role, and while
thank
the
God.
actor was interested in starring in the film, he had his own list of ideas for the character, wanting to portray him as a CIA psychiatrist and also martial artist expert. Hopkins ultimately decided that those were not good ideas, as he wanted the character to be the average Joe police officer. When Danny Glover was offered the role, he jumped at it because he knew that a strong black leading man in a sci-fi horror film was a rarity, and he wanted to like take that opportunity while he could. Originally, the film was given an NC-17 rating, so they had to cut most of the violence to bring it down to the R rating needed.
They had to cut most of the violence. Like, this is gnarly.
At the end of filming, this is hilarious to me. At the end of filming, a short unofficial music video was made starring Danny Glover dancing with the Predator.
Yeah, have you guys seen it before?
No way.
Yes, it's
Kyle
so
apparently
strange.
hasn't. That's fucking
Well,
wild.
don't you worry. Follow us on TikTok and Instagram because someone's going to post that clip.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And then this is the last thing, and then we'll dive into it. But later on, director Stephen Hopkins said of the film, "It's just also over the top. I sort of went for it and made the biggest, boldest, loudest movie I could because I was a 29-year-old. I was a rampant child running through Los Angeles just blowing shit out of everything and
It's so
making
true.
things as bloody as I possibly could."
Yeah, this movie is
good for him.
so bombastic. Like I was so. This is my second watch, and the first time I've actually, probably paid attention and watched it in one sitting, and it's very tiring. Like
It's an exhausting movie. This was.
Yeah.
I didn't dislike this movie, but this was definitely a movie where I kept checking the time because I was like, holy shit, I feel like so much has happened. And then I would check the time and I'd be like, 20
It's
minutes.
been 10 minutes, yeah.
like, what is happening? This does this really weird thing where the movie takes place in the distant future of 1997. Just 7
not far
years
off.
later. Like, it's a really weird call, but I guess I like it in the same sense of, do you remember when that movie Real Steel came out? And I think it came out in 2010, but it took place in 2015. And it like allowed them to like mostly be grounded in reality with just like tiny little technological advancements that you're like, I guess I could see us getting there in 5 years.
Eventually someone is going to be right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Eventually somebody is going to make the right ratio of distant future and
You're trying to say
be
that
completely
split
correct about
second
it.
wasn't the a good call.
Yeah. But like
It was close. They were close. They were super, super close. And I would tell you, the beginning of this movie, where everybody is shooting each other in the streets, didn't feel all that crazy.
I was actually like, I cannot believe that we haven't seen this on Newsmax as like Oregon on fire. Portland, Oregon on fire.
No shit.
so
dude.
okay, so the movie is in Los Angeles, and like talk about a movie that just kind of throws you into it, right? We just start in the Predator's vision. We're starting in a Predator POV as he's watching like this active war zone shootout.
And as somebody who didn't really see or watch or pay attention to the first one, I was like, what did the Predator do to have this happen in the world? Like, what did the Predator bring upon Los Angeles, realizing it wasn't really the Predator's doing? But I was like, in a sequel, they had to have something to do with what's happening here.
Yeah, no, it's
lo and behold,
it's like weirdly pseudo cyberpunky in the way that they like treat the Predator. Where,
Yeah,
like,
kind of.
Yeah, like it's very strange. But the Predator observes Michael R. Harrigan, who from this point on I will just be saying Danny Glover, as he
call.
charges into this active shootout in order to save 2 wounded police officers and try to end this gunfire. The 2 main gangs that we're looking at that are at war here are the Colombians and the Jamaicans. Of course, the Jamaicans perform voodoo because it's 1990, and boy, do we not care about what weird stereotypes we were tossing out there.
No. By 1997, every Jamaican practices voodoo.
Yes, that's what the movie's trying to establish.
That's just
And
what
also,
it is.
I could not believe with finally an active watching of this movie, how offensive having literally every black character except for the main character have a shitty Jamaican accent. No
super thick,
Jamaicans
shitty
actually talk
accent.
that way.
It was wild. They came
Newsmax
all the
thing is
way
you have
here
all these
straight
people-
from Jamaica just to start a war zone in Los Angeles. Like
Yes, right.
It's so
Right.
strange.
The huge country of Jamaica. The really close by huge country of Jamaica towards Los Angeles.
Every time these 2 factions fight, the fight gets ended because the Predator shows up, attacks, and eventually flays some of them. Eventually, after enough of these events happen, Danny Glover's friend goes to investigate on his own, but is found and killed by the Predator, which leads to Danny Glover vowing revenge. The Predator just continues to kill gang members and cops, but he spares a female cop because the Predator is very pro-life.
So I have a quick question. So the Predator sees Danny Glover as a worthy opponent.
Yes.
Why? It feels like this weird fucking meet cute at the beginning where the Predator's
little
like gets like a little crush on him, you know?
I think it's strictly just because he showed like what I do like about the Predator movies is that they have these characters. We have this creature, right? This beautiful designed creature from Stan Winston that sole purpose is like it hunts for sport. And it's like, it's just the fucking, what's the book where they hunt people? Like, it's just
The Deadliest Game.
The Deadliest Game. Like, it comes here every once in a while, and it tries to find a worthy adversary and get into a war with it. And I guess in this particular sense, the Predator's like, this guy seems brave. He seems to be charging into like an active war zone situation just to save 2 of his comrades. I respect the bravery and valor, and thus I want his head on my throne of skulls. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. I did write.
It's tough for me to like buy. I think like yes, you're right. It's just a little tough for me to buy.
It's
in.
hard
I think
to-
it's
it's
the
hard
Danny
to
Glover of
swallow.
it all. Like I think that I saw if I hadn't seen Angels in the Outfield before Predator 2, maybe I'd have a different thought process on this whole
Let
thing.
me ask you a question. We've seen who was the potential stuff in the lineup. If you had to cast someone to be the person that impressed the Predator so much. And your options are Patrick Swayze, Steven Seagal, and Danny Glover.
Yeah, it's Steven Seagal, and it's mainly not because Steven Seagal is like the most brute force apex predator of it all. I think it would just confuse the Predator.
Like,
I think
the fuck is that?
The Predator is meeting its own alien life form that like doesn't get it.
Yeah, he doesn't talk like a normal human. It's so strange.
He's part of an intelligence agency, but also only practices martial arts. I'm really shook.
Can you imagine the Predator like aping Seagal? Because like basically the Predator can talk in this movie, but I don't think it's kind of like when
that is established in the first movie, though. It is.
But I don't think that they understand English. They're just parroting. Back sounds, right? Yeah. But also in this movie, it seems like the Predator kind of knows like when it's fucked, because at one point right before it gets its arm chopped off by its own weapon, like halfway through the movie, let's be clear that when it loses its fucking arm, we're about an hour into a 2-hour movie. And it goes, shit happens, and then it gets its arm cut off. Like, so it seems to me like these creatures understand English, but there would be a really easy sci-fi way to fix that. Have them have translators. Yeah, super fucking easy, but they don't have those.
I will say something that they've been doing a really, really good job with lately that kind of retroactively makes sense to this is like with the movie like Prey and that anthology series, it does establish like these fucking creatures come to Earth a lot and do this. So it's like, all right, well, if it's taken in the context that they've been coming here since like the cavemen days, I guess by 97 they may have caught up on some like basic English phrases, like the way that I know how to say my name in Spanish. You know what I mean? Like I can say "Me llamo Mateo." That doesn't mean I'm fluent in Spanish. But
like, when did they learn how to say "shit happens"? And like, what the fuck else did he said? He said "shit happens," and he also said "motherfucker."
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's just
what does he say on the train?
This is the silliest fucking movie.
It's really
goofy. The movie legitimately is just at its best when we're hanging out with the Predator and he's collecting people's heads. Like like there's like 15 minutes of him decapitating people and walking off with their heads and spinal columns, and like more of that. Like I'm like every time that's happening, I'm a happy boy.
They had to cut that out of a 2-hour movie.
They did.
It was going to be 2.5 hours.
Oh my god! It was like the buddy. It was buddy cop. It was like Lethal Weapon, but it was actually Predator weapon.
So throughout the film, we got Gary Busey here, who's playing an FBI agent, and he's been hired to capture this creature. Which, like, I understand how that was originally written for Arnold Schwarzenegger's character. Like, hey, this guy survived this creature. We're bringing him in as an expert. But they had to have made so many extra changes because, like, it doesn't make sense for Arnold to be as douchey as Gary Busey is.
No. Because then there's the twist, right? There's the twist that he's actually, like, of a higher agency that is trying to, so it's like you wouldn't have the twist, which I kind of appreciated. And then, like, but he is such a dick. Gary Busey's such a dick.
Like, it's one of those classic, it's funny, we've been showing Barb's oldest son a bunch of horror movies, and last night we were watching A Nightmare on Elm Street, which I think is like maybe the 10th or 11th movie that we've shown him. And he's like, I haven't watched many of these, but I'm really starting to realize that there's always one character who's just obnoxious. And I was like, yep, that's the character that is going to die, and you won't feel as bad about it as all the other characters.
It's true.
That die. And like, that's it's the Gary Busey. It's the guy in the zombie film who doesn't tell people that he's been bit. Like, there's always like this one super arrogant character whose hubris is what kills them. Gary Busey basically kills an entire team of people through hubris because he's like, hey, we know how this thing hunts, so we're going to use thermal insulated suits and ultraviolet lights and cryogenic weapons to capture this creature so he can't read any type of heat from anything. And then, like, I love that, like, they're, like, patrolling around, and then, like, the Predator's, like, in the corner watching them just like, these dumb motherfuckers. It's almost like, I think that this movie, I wonder if there was humor that was also cut out of this movie, because there does
Bill
seem
Paxton.
to be,
Yes.
like, the cat and mouse of, like, the Predator being like, these dumb motherfuckers. It's like every time that he shows up in anything.
That whole subway scene is hysterical to me when everybody pulls a gun out during the robbery and Bill Paxton like takes control.
Yeah, I forgot
of
to
it.
even mention
and,
Bill
like, that's even
Paxton's in this
Predator-less.
movie. Bill Paxton acted his
best part
ass
of the
off
movie.
as always. Like,
Yeah, he's so good.
Just being
So
an asshole.
fucking good.
This was like prime time for Bill Paxton to be like, "Oh, I'm gonna be horny in this movie."
yeah. There's like that trifecta of Bills that you get confused at this time
Yes.
because it's the Bill Paxton, Bill Pullman, Billy
Yep.
Zane
Yep.
situation where in any movie you could replace one of them with the other one and like barely notice the difference. But yeah, Bill Paxton just
The 90s, baby.
yeah, I love it. Yeah, Bill Paxton, he doesn't do much here, but he is a delight every second that he's on camera. Danny Glover attacks and wounds the Predator, but the Predator kills Gary Busey anyway. The Predator then chases Danny Glover to a roof where they fight until they're both dangling off of a ledge. This is the part that you were talking about, Scott. The Predator then activates a self-destruct device on its forearm, but Danny Glover cuts it off. He says, the hell you will. Glover then chases the Predator to an underground spaceship and he kills it. At this point, a small group of cloaked predators arrive to collect their fallen brethren's body, and their leader gifts Danny Glover with a reward for killing a predator, which is a gun from the 1700s. Glover then gets back to the surface and muses that the predators will most likely return again one day.
There must have been, oh my God, so there must not have been like a predator killed since then, right?
Yeah.
Like, is that sort of the idea?
Because I don't think that Arnold Schwarzenegger, I can't remember if he kills the Predator in the 87 movie or if the Predator just leaves and Arnold's like, all right, I guess I'm just like alone in the woods.
Yeah.
It's been so long. I haven't watched the first. Here's the thing. The first Predator movie is undeniably the better movie.
Oh, yeah.
But I would probably put this one on more likely than that one just because this one is like, the first Predator movie kind of does something that like a movie like Overlord that came out in like 2018 does, or like From Dusk Till Dawn does, where like the first half of the movie is just a war movie that then out of nowhere gets crazy.
Crazy, yeah.
Where
but
this
then
movie
you don't
just
I don't even
tosses
want
you
to
into
watch
the
the first
crazy.
half of Overlord. I just want to watch when they have super zombies. It's literally Wolfenstein.
Yeah, I'm scrolling to the bottom to just see what happens in the end. Okay, so it says, deeming Dutch a worthy opponent, the Predator removes its weapons and mask, revealing its monstrous visage to face him in hand-to-hand combat. Easily outmatched by the larger and stronger creature, Dutch attempts to goad it into a trapped tunnel, but the Predator suspects the plan and circumvents it. Dutch triggers the trap himself, releasing its counterweight, which crushes the Predator. Mortally wounded, the creature activates a wrist-mounted self-destruct device. Dutch flees, barely escaping the enormous resulting explosion. So I think that he's the first one to actively kill the creature because the creature kills itself in the first movie.
Yeah, right. And he gets rid of the self-destructed.
All
Okay.
right.
So
Okay.
there we go.
I kind of like that. I want to go back to the 1700s. I want to go back to like that last.
I'm
that's
telling you, the animated anthology film that dropped this year, I was blown away by how good it is because it's the animation style of like Into the Spider-Verse. Like it's that kind of like stop motion-y looking vibe, but it's just 5 stories. Like at one point he's fighting Vikings. And like it's just like different eras of time where the Predator shows up and just like wrecks havoc on a gang of soldiers. And every time I just had a big ass smile on my face watching it.
So, like,
I wonder
fuck
also. I wonder if
humans.
the comics cover some of like what I'm thinking about too, in the same way that like the comics covered a lot of like Hellraiser ground and like a lot of like Hellraiser stories. Like I wonder if the Predator comics do some of that too.
Because that's the thing that's really interesting is like when I looked into it, I was like, I can't believe there's such a giant gap in these films. You know what I mean? Like Predators came out 20 years after Predator 2, which like if not for the Alien versus Predator movies, that would just be the 20-year gap. But I think it's partially because of the comics that throughout the 90s there was these Predator comics that Dark Horse was putting out or whoever,
It was
and
Dark
that
Horse,
kind of kept him in the public eye.
It seems like it did okay at the box office. I mean, it didn't make a ton of money, but
Yeah.
the lowest grossing film in the Predator franchise. Okay, fuck me.
Wow.
then.
Well, I
That
don't know if
seems
that's
crazy.
That
but that's
also-
the second one, so it's like
That's probably only half true, because almost everything else has been streaming. So I'm sure,
Fair.
that becomes like a weird question of numbers, I think. But yeah, I mean, listen, I'm never gonna sit here and be like, this thing's a masterpiece, but I think that
I think it's so much fun with it.
At the time, this is like one of those movies that people be like, oh my God, Predator 2, one of the worst fucking sequels ever made. And now I think it's kind of been like reevaluated. It's like, no, this is just like a dumb, fun action movie. And like, that's, like this fits in. I'm not going to say what my actual double feature is just yet, but like this fits in perfectly with like, I get wanting to bring Arnold back. This fits into a late 80s, early 90s, like Total Recall, Demolition Man.
Yeah.
Shut your brain off and just like enjoy how bombastic and all over the place the movie is. And like the idea that it's like, you know, it's Demolition Man but with an alien, which is fucking cool. Like it's like a cool concept. And I don't know, the only thing that bums me out every time I watch any Predator movie, I just think the design of this creature is so cool and we see so little of it constantly throughout these movies. But I love, like, you know, there's like a thing with like even the xenomorphs, right? You watch the first Alien movie and it's really good. But like there are certain shots where you're like, ooh, yeah, like that's just a really lanky dude in like a latex suit and you can kind of tell. And like that's the same vibe with Predator, but it just whatever Stan Winston knocked it out of the park with the way that the body is built and the face, where it's like, oh, this just sticks in your like I could have drawn this creature from memory as a child before I had seen a single fucking movie because it was such an iconic character design.
No, it really is. And you're right. Stan Winston's stuff is so good. And I think, unfortunately, it's like that's the problem with how you film practical effects sometimes, is that you do overdo it to try to hide seams because there are not that many fucking masters of effects, right?
Yeah.
So, but when you get Stan Winston, who is just so, and then he goes on, you know, and then he has to like, he chooses to do Pumpkinhead and make sure
Same
that
year,
like, even,
right?
you know,
Same year he's doing Pumpkinhead.
You know, and you don't see a lot of. I mean, I guess you see a lot more of Pumpkinhead. Like he actually has like a full fight scene with Pumpkinhead, but at the same time, like even he had to film it where you make sure you don't see some certain aspects of the creature, and that's just what you choose to do. I think people maybe overcompensate for it, and I hope that there's a world in which we get to see more practical creatures shot well and seen often in movies like this. Because I agree, it's not just Predator. Like, I mean, it's a lot of other, you know, it's a lot of other creature effects.
I want to run down real
movies.
quick Stan Winston's career from the 80s into the mid 90s. Because boy, what a track record we got here. 1982, The Thing. Then he does 1984 Terminator. Ghoulies in 85. He kind of he wasn't putting a lot of effort into that one.
All right.
Yeah, he's got to eat. Invaders from Mars and Aliens in 86. Monster Squad and Predator in 87. Pumpkinhead in 88. I don't know why I thought that was a 90s movie, but Pumpkinhead in 88.
I think it's because isn't Pumpkinhead 2 like 92 or something like that? 91?
Something like that.
Blood Wings.
Leviathan in 89. His
Hell yeah.
1990 was Predator 2, Edward Scissorhands, and a gnome called Norm.
Yes.
And then he follows it up with Terminator 2 Judgment Day, Batman Returns, Jurassic Park. Like,
wow.
what a fucking run.
Fucking wow.
That's ungodly.
Like-
That's crazy.
And then, you know, we start to lose, like, practical effects and things start to, like, dwindle down a little bit. But, like, just that like, run right there of Terminator, Batman Returns, and Jurassic Park is psychotic to me. On, like, oh, these are, like, 3 movies that are known for how good their makeup and special effects are. Like, Like, just what a loss. I'm so bummed that because he's gone, right? We lost Stan Winston in 2008.
Yeah, he was young too. He was only 62.
Yeah,
Holy
that's
shit,
very young.
that is young.
Yeah, that's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of fucking latex and toxic chemicals and noxious gases and shit. You know, it's
That'll do
probably
you
took
in.
its toll.
That'll do you in.
We're here to entertain you. We'll sing your song.
Hey there. Are you obsessed with things that happened before your time? Well, if you are, join me, the host of Before My Time, Kelsey Laurie, to discuss the wonders of the yesteryears that we weren't around to enjoy ourselves. You can find us on all podcast platforms.
Dixieland's a playing, soon you'll be swaying, so come on, sing along.
We're making an ad.
Napping
Yeah.
ad.
This is where I think if we're doing it right, Alec Baldwin comes in. He says a couple things. He listens to the podcast every week. Has he been canceled? Wait, is Alec Baldwin the one who killed somebody? I hear that Gary Sinise is free.
Oh, okay, great.
He hasn't worked since 2020.
So, what would be the script that we would have Gary Sinise say for the Napping Through Happy Hour podcast?
Listen to this damn show. Damn it.
The Napping Through Happy Hour podcast brought to you by Geekscape.
Real life, real drama, real time.
I'm Gary Sinise.
That's the ad. That's the ad. That's the ad.
Do you like to laugh, geek out on music, and learn all about that band or artist who had that one song back in the day, but then seemed to fall off the face of the earth? If so, you need to subscribe to One Hit Thunder. Together with an array of interesting and hilarious guests, we do a weekly dive into one-hit wonders like Eiffel 65's Blue, Krayshawn's Gucci Gucci, EMF's Unbelievable, Delamitri's Roll to Me, Los Del Rio's Macarena, Musical Youth's Pass the Dutchie, and even Patrick Swayze's She's Like the Wind. So are you subscribed to One Hit Thunder or what? As Desiree would say, you gotta be. And as K7 would encourage, you gotta come, baby, come and join in on the fun of the One Hit Thunder podcast.
Come, baby, come, baby, baby, come, come.
I'm so excited for my double feature, guys. Because I picked a different movie about an alien wandering around a city taking heads. The Borrower.
Oh, sick. Oh, my God. That's so...
Damn, that's really good.
I would be way happier being at your house for that once you started The Borrower, because The Borrower would be second, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, no.
Yeah.
The Predator 2's playing as people are slowly rolling into the house, and then once everyone's situated, it's like, all right, motherfuckers. Strap
Party
in.
time.
Here we go.
Yeah.
That's
Do you
awesome.
want to party?
The Borrower, dude. Okay. Scott, what do you got?
Well, I already said it, but Split Second is just the same fucking movie, but
Yep.
wetter.
No, it's wetter. It's the wetter Predator.
Yeah.
Wetter. I fucking hated that so much. That was so dumb.
Can we
I
make
love
that a
it.
shirt? Just a very moist Predator on
Yeah,
the front of it. It says the
moist
Wedditor.
Predator is just Split Second.
Crazy. It's like, how do you get wetter than this, dude? It's just because you go in a sewer and there's less blood, more sewer water in there.
Lots of sewers in both of them, by the way. Well, subways.
there are,
The sewers
We're in the
Split Second
underground
are
a lot in
subways.
both
Subways.
films. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and Kyle?
I'm going They Live. Different, but the Los Angeles of it all feels
right,
and the
yeah.
alien of it all feels right. So I'm going They Live.
All right, well, you let us know what you would have double featured by hitting us up on our social media at HMN Podcast on basically everything. You could even send us an email and let us know at hmnpodcast@gmail.com, and you can ask to join our newsletter. Check out our website, hmnpodcast.com, to check out our entire back catalog. Buy some merch from us at hmn.dashery.com, or become a Patreon member at our Patreon, patreon.com/HMN Podcast. Dudes, we've been talking about horror movies and a whole bunch of fun stuff. So for my what did I watch, listen to, etc., we're gonna mellow it out a little bit, because I'm gonna talk about a really nice documentary that dropped on Hulu recently called Lilith Fair, Building a Mystery.
Oh, It's on Hulu?
It's on Hulu. That's about the history of the Lilith Fair. And, you know,
Is it just a feature doc?
It's a feature doc.
Yeah,
It's not a docuseries. It's just a nice 90-minute, here's everything. I have to tell you, as a kid in the 90s, the Lilith Fair, and they dive into this, but the Lilith Fair was like such a punchline of like, oh, yeah, all these women, they're having a music festival. I don't think I understood how much I would have wanted it to be at the first Lilith Fair. Like,
hell yeah, dude.
Matt Kelly in 2025, looking at this lineup of Fiona Apple, Tracy Bonham, The Cardigans, Tracy Chapman, Paula Cole, Shauna Colvin, Sheryl Crow, The Indigo Girls, Jewel, Lisa Loeb, Sarah McLachlan, Joan Osborne, and Suzanne Vega. Like, I would be in blissful heaven. But
they don't fucking do that.
There's no way to do that ever again.
No,
there's no way to do that.
It's really a place in time, you know?
It's truly a place in time, and it's kind of this interesting thing where they talk about how it was like really important to Sarah McLachlan, because the story behind this was that Sarah McLachlan had started having these radio hits in the 90s. But she would show up on radio interviews and find out that the radio stations would not play two female artists back to back because they said that would make people not listen to them, and that they wouldn't book shows with more than one female artist. So she was like, I'm going to prove to them that they're wrong and that this will sell. So she put together this event, right? Then it became kind of like the Warped Tour. It was a traveling tour that would go city to city. And so they had their main stage with all the big name bands, but then she had a smaller stage that was for like artists that she thought might be like the next big thing. And like some of the artists that she picked out to play that included like Dido, and I think I saw Christina Aguilera was one of them. Letters to Cleo was one. Like she was grabbing these artists out of obscurity and being like, I think that this Sixpence None the Richer was one of her like early people that she grabbed it. Like she was just staying in touch with like what was happening with female rockers and who were the ones that she thought would be like really, really good to book. So she tells this one story, and this is the only story I'm going to talk about, but it made me walk away and be like, Joan Osborne is the coolest fucking person on the planet. So
that's a great thesis statement.
That's the thesis statement. So they talk about how a lot of what they did was they had a thing that they called the Village. And in the Village was all of these people that were not sponsors. It was organizations that were female organizations that they would bring with them on tour to spread awareness. And one of them was Planned Parenthood. And they played in Texas, and there was this huge hoopla about the fact that the Planned Parenthood was going to be there. So she's like, we had this whole back and forth, and like they would do a press conference the day before every Lilith Fair in the city where they would field questions from the community about stuff. And like they're showing how Joan Osborne's like, I just think it's kind of bullshit that this organization would book us knowing everything we stand for, and then 24 hours before our show's supposed to happen, suddenly add this additional stipulation as if anybody is coming to this show that has the beliefs that they have in the first place. So the compromise that Sarah McLachlan made with the township was that Planned Parenthood could be there, but that no artists were to mention or acknowledge it. Then it cuts to a talking head of Joan Osborne. She goes, that was Sarah's deal. I didn't agree to that. And then it immediately cuts to footage of Joan Osborne's band, and they're all wearing shirts that say Planned Parenthood is at this area. And in between every song, she's just like, and I'm just here to remind you, the Planned Parenthood booth is in fact in the Village at this spot. Like, I was like, God fucking. And then it cuts to Sarah McLachlan. She's like, I was young and didn't know what I was doing, but I'm really glad that Joan did that. Like that. She's like, I got in trouble, but I was glad that she was like standing up in a way that I was like too young of an artist to be confident to do. Like, she's like, I'm a little Canadian. Cool. I don't want to like rattle anybody's cage. Like, but yeah, it's a great doc. It's sweet. It's funny. I recommend it to everybody, especially if you grew up like me, like only knowing that festival as a punching line. It is a really cool reminder on like how badass that festival is.
I mean, I feel like I need to watch this. I'm not a documentary guy, but
Yeah.
I mean, even if I wasn't married to someone who loves documentaries and who loves the music from Lilith Fair, grew up on that, pretty significantly. I grew up on that music too, and I would love to know all the stories. So this is
the stories are so
going top of the list right now.
It makes you love the Indigo Girls more than you already do because they kind of seem like the elder statesmen of the
for
show.
sure.
Like, and yeah, it's really good. Highly recommend it. But all right, you two, what do you guys got?
I will go second because I've got something that I need to rant about, and then I'll have something that is a little palate cleanser. But holy fuck, guys, I read the worst fucking book.
Oh no!
I love when it starts like this.
It was, and I'm gonna get it's. Hold on, let me open my Goodreads and get this motherfucker's or this author's name.
You're gonna dox this guy.
Yeah, hell yeah, fuck this guy. The thing is that all this does is make me look like an asshole because I once again got duped by book talk, horror talk, and I've had this on my to-read list for like a year and a half or something like that. I found a copy of it for like $2 somewhere, and it was just the next one on my stack, and I'm like, why not? It's it looks like a relatively short read, 300 pages, blah blah. It was the most trite drivel bullshit I have read all year. It is so bad. It's called Suffer the Children by Craig DeLuey. And let me just tell you, this is what I put in my Goodreads review as well. I gave it 1 fucking star. If I could give it 0, I would have given it 0. I said that it's like, do you like He Is Legend? How about you read 300 pages of people arguing, and then in the last 3 pages you get He Is Legend from the perspective of the vampires, but they're prepubescent children. It's as bad as you think it is. It was so, and it was written poorly, and I'm like, I truly, I know that horror is subjective, but at the same time, I have not read anything that has been suggested to me from horror talk, that is not terrible. What the fuck is wrong with people? And they're like, oh, this is so scary, I couldn't sleep, blah, blah, blah. Shut up. You are being paid by this author to say something nice on the internet. I believe it. Truly believe it. Anyway, awful, awful book. What a waste of time. I hate Reddit. Like, I hate read 310 pages because I was like, there's got to be a good twist at the end that people are that's why I got to finish it. No. I literally sighed every 3 pages. I was so annoyed with the fact that I was reading it. Anyway, so
I hate that for you. I hate the world where you're like turning the pages and just being like,
like in bed, like, God damn it. Anyway.
Yeah, because that's effort. Hate watching is one thing because
you don't have to use your brain.
That's pretty. It almost feels finite. Hate reading feels like it's like you have control. You have too much control over the process.
Yeah. So the palate cleanser is that Megan was like, let's watch something a little spooky, and I'm like, sure, let's see what's on Peacock, I think is what she opened up, and Peacock has a great selection of like I would consider very mainstream horror movies, but they're not anywhere else because Peacock's got them. And she was like suggesting a couple things, and then she said, what about Buffy the Vampire Slayer 92? And I'm like, okay, because we haven't watched that movie in like 2 years.
Twist my arm.
Yeah. I think that horror movies, it was between that and Scream, and I was like, Scream's just a little too dour. Like, let's just do the real silly Buffy the Vampire Slayer 92. And it is just so good. And my favorite little thing to tell her is, I think this has happened the last 2 times and she's forgotten, which is great. But I'm like, you see that guy? That's Sasha Benson. Yeah, Sasha Benson.
Yeah.
He is most well known for getting, killed in Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. And she's like, she just always goes, I love being married to a quote unquote normie. So Kyle, take us home.
I on my drive to and from Skate or Die Film Festival, where I spent a whopping 3 hours with my man Matt Kelly, which was
time well spent, which was
Time well spent. Absolutely. I think Justin's doing a fun thing down there. We were only there for Friday. Saturday is the main portion of the film festival. I put on some rollerblades for about 15 minutes.
Hell
yeah.
We introed Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter.
We
and
heard
then
the Wreckers for the first time, and those dudes fucking rule.
Ripped.
Yeah.
Absolutely ripped. That they were great. And then I came back for the Tox Brewing Halloween Market, which if you're listening to this and I met you there, hello, how are you? Thanks for tuning in. It's a joy. But what I did listen to there and back was the audiobook for Clown in a Cornfield. It perfectly fit into my travels. It was great. If you don't have Hoopla, get it. If you have a library card, Hoopla has. So I was using Libby for a long time, and I still probably will continue to do so, right? But Hoopla has actually a larger selection and likely is also connected to your library card, whether you knew that or not. I did not. And our film, Don't Forget to Leave, is out on Hoopla right now. So I got Hoopla. And not for that reason, because I've seen the movie, but I did get Clown in a Cornfield and listened to that audiobook. And I haven't seen the movie yet. You guys talked about the movie. The book is great. It reads like a YA slasher. I think that the themes that you had talked about when you had talked about watching the movie are deeper in novel form. Sure. Talking about a small town that is clearly divided by the way that people live their lives, generationally live their lives. You're talking about kids versus adults in a lot of ways, and what the kids are doing in town versus how the adults want the town to exist. And there's only so much room and space for that to happen. And it all culminates in this big, to-do with Clown in a Cornfield. So we're talking about it. I think it's really great. I really loved it. I think that it's not super heady in the way that it approaches that, and I think that's where it sort of feels young adulty to me. It's technically not, but we're talking about young people and young characters and young point of views. So I think that that's what makes it accessible in that way. And I just started the second one. All three of those audiobooks are on Hoopla.
It's a trilogy so far.
There's three. Yeah. And if you haven't, just give me 2 minutes if you haven't read it or listened to it. But the second one, or watch the movie. But the second one is all about like a year later, Quinn, the main character, is now in college, and there are basically like loose change-esque documentaries and conspiracy theories about how this never happened in her town. Okay. And she is, and the survivors are all dealing, at least currently, I'm 15% in. But the setup is that this town is dealing with the conspiracy and the true crime interest and all of this, this magnifying glass that is on them now, thinking that this never happened or trying to make money off of it having happened. Like there's a person who's trying to build a haunted, a haunt on the grounds where it happens, like just a year later. It's a really, really great setup, and it feels like the appropriate follow-up with the themes that they had talked about in the first book, in the first movie. I really enjoyed the book. I really enjoyed the read. I was happy to have some time to just do that, listen to an audiobook. God, I don't know. It took me the last book I talked about on here was Susan Kay's Phantom. It took me almost a year, I think, to read that, And so it was nice to just have a there and back. It kept me awake. I got back home at 2 a.m.
I was gonna say Kyle drove throughout the night so that he could be home in time for talks. So
yeah, no, it was a great weekend, and that book was just the cherry on top.
Right.
So.
Well, the cherry on talks. So we will be back next week with even more horror movie night goodness.
This holiday, discover meaningful gifts for everyone on your list at Kay. Not sure where to start? Our jewelry experts are here to help you find or create the perfect gift, in-store or online. Book your appointment today and unwrap love this season. Only at K.
We're here to entertain you. We'll sing your song.
Hey there. Are you obsessed with things that happened before your time? Well, if you are, join me, the host of Before My Time, Kelsey Laurie, to discuss the wonders of the yesteryears that we weren't around to enjoy ourselves. You can find us on all podcast platforms.
Dixieland's a playing, soon you'll be swaying, so come on, sing along.
We're making an ad.
Napping
Yeah.
ad.
This is where I think if we're doing it right, Alec Baldwin comes in. He says a couple things. He listens to the podcast every week. Has he been canceled? Wait, is Alec Baldwin the one who killed somebody? I hear that Gary Sinise is free.
Oh, okay, great.
He hasn't worked since 2020.
So, what would be the script that we would have Gary Sinise say for the Napping Through Happy Hour podcast?
Listen to this damn show. Damn it.
The Napping Through Happy Hour podcast brought to you by Geekscape.
Real life, real drama, real time.
I'm Gary Sinise.
That's the ad. That's the ad. That's the ad.
You're listening to the Geekscape Network.